So it is countdown to 10 a.m. and we'll go ahead and get started on time. And for people that will be joining us, you're going to get the recording immediately afterwards. So, um, guys, go ahead and introduce yourself. Start off, Eric, with yourself. We've got 38 people registered, and then I just looked, and then we'll have probably another 30 more people in attendance. So, Eric, go ahead and introduce yourself, and then Doug after Eric.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Eric Anderson. I'm the co-founder of Virtual Sales RX, and co-founded obviously with Matthew Ray Scott, and excited to be here and to share our knowledge on personalized video.
And I'm Doug Heulitt. I'm an agency owner of Virtual Sales RX, and happy to be here joining you gentlemen this morning to chat about, what we're doing.
Yeah, guys, we are talking about scripting today, and one of the things I'm just going to go ahead and put it in the chat box for everybody. We're going to be talking about designing scripts, and how would you answer this question? What is the purpose of scripts, and how have they helped you to become a better communicator?
Well, I can say that for me, and I've now been doing this for a few years now, that before I can kind of paint the picture before of what I would do is send blind emails or messages without any real purpose except for please open this and I hope you contact me back. Whereas now with a personalized script, I'm able to have that in front of me for whatever vertical I may be talking to. And I'm able to refer back to that. And it's something that I can utilize every single time, and it's something that I obviously will master over time, and I have mastered over time. So it's there for me. It's effective. We all know because everyone on this call right now understands that these scripts are things that we've gone through the years and perfected. So it's just something that I can use as my own recipe.
Yeah, and Doug, I know that you kind of have a unique vantage point. You went through our course, and then you're now an agency owner, and you actually coach people on this methodology. What was your first reaction to the fact that we have developed proven scripts? And then did you hesitate at first and then embrace it? How did that work for you?
So the way I approached it was, I don't need that. I'm a sales guy. Like, I know how to sell. I'm going to say what comes to my mind. And that got me nowhere. It got me nowhere real quick. And I couldn't understand why no one was engaging with what I was doing because, right, I'm amazing. Why wouldn't you? And I stopped. I went back to the basics about, okay, this has worked for people. Let me try this. And once I started employing those scripts, the light bulb went off, and it showed me that there is methodology, there's a reason, and there's science behind how these work and why they work. And then once I started implementing the actual scripts, now I can think in terms of scripts and can create my own. But that initial hurdle of like, I'll just do what I do did not work. So the use of scripts really got me up and over that hurdle.
Yeah, if you're a sales consultant, you're with us live or you're watching the replay, you got two options here. Option number one, and I'm going to take it off the table, is for you to continue to communicate the same way that you're communicating, receiving subpar engagement and results, and hoping that that is going to change everything for you. Let's just take that off the table. And one of the things that we teach at Medical Sales RX, Virtual Sales RX, is an understanding of how people make purchasing decisions. And contrarian as it seems, we know that the higher the technology influence, the higher the purchase price, that people do not purchase that intellectually, whether they purchase that empathetically based on the aspect of aligning how you relieve their pain, solve their problem, and align with their perspective. And so, guys, what I thought we'd do is let's just take a look at, for those of you who are joining us live and watching the replay, here's what you're going to walk away with today. So, step number one, you will learn how personalized scripts are effective for prospecting. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, wait a minute, scripts has a bad connotation. I'm going to read word for word. I'm going to present things. I'm not down for that. And if that's you, you're part of our tribe. The concept of what we teach with personalized scripts, and when you enroll in Medical Sales RX or Virtual Sales RX, you get all of our scripts. In fact, if you hang with us till the end, you're going to notice that in the chat section that I put a link. That link is to, well, Eric, why don't you share what it is? It's a new community that we have created. Tell people why it may be a fit for them after they attend this complimentary webinar, and really what the purpose of that new community is.
Yeah, it's extremely exciting. So we created a community exclusively for those who are interested in utilizing personalized video in their everyday business. And so, as you can see in the chat, if you click on it, that will take you over to our Virtual Sales RX platform. And this link will take you directly to the monthly scripts. And every month, you're going to receive personalized examples of video scripts, personalized videos, video scripts that work. They're time tested. We've gone through them, we've used them, and they are successful, and we get extremely positive results. And Matthew's going to kind of go into, some of the percentages of open rates and things of that nature that he has experienced throughout the years. And he's going to talk about why these scripts are so effective. So after the webinar, if you want to go click on that and take a look at it, it will give you some more information. And again, you'll see the price point is one that's very easy per month, $9.97. And you're going, wow, for $9.97 a month, I'm going to get these. Yeah, you're going to get these personalized scripts every month.
Yeah, the scripts is ideal for that person that is curious about using personalized videos to build trust, differentiate, and increase engagements and close more deals. You're not ready to take our course. You're not ready to invest in that hands-on coaching. So this is a perfect opportunity for you to receive these proven scripts. All right, the second takeaway for today is you're going to learn strategies for taking a framework, a proven copywriting technique that has been proven to drive higher engagement rates. We're going to walk you through that framework. And like any other system or framework, if you understand the process, then you can develop your own scripts. So we develop scripts for you because we've tested this framework and we've tested these scripts, but we want you to walk away today with the opportunity to do it yourself. And then lastly, you're going to have a takeaway of how persuasive writing and copywriting techniques can be applied to any personalized video that you have. All right, let's go through a basics takeaway of when we use the word script, a framework. So minimum, we have 3 points of emphasis. Number one, why are we reaching out to people? Number two, what is the purpose of why we are quote unquote interrupting them with this email or personalized video? And then finally, how are we solving a problem? So, Doug, I know that right now, you and I and Eric, we are sending out personalized direct messages, emails, etc. When you learn the framework, and on paper, this looks pretty common sense, right? Meaning, why we're reaching out, what's the purpose of this email interruption, what problem we were solving. When you look at this now and compare it to how you used to try and engage, in your case with busy doctors, what was the light bulb moment? What was the change? What was the pattern that you had fallen into, which led to the fact that you just weren't engaging that many people?
So over the course of almost 2 decades in med device sales, the a lot of our engagements with surgeons turned into, hey, I've got 3 minutes. What do you got? Right? We had a line or allotted 30 minutes to sit down. Maybe it was over a lunch. There was time, right? Things were a lot more spread out, and there was an opportunity to sit down and engage with a surgeon at a level and that you could go deep on a topic. Well, lately it's been, I've got 2 minutes. What do you got? And it's really hard to go through that journey of, here's who I am, here's who you are, here are your problems. And you end up boiling it down to and distilling it down to, here are my features and benefits, because that's what we've been drilled into our heads by our marketing teams. And that's unfortunately all we're left with. So in 30 seconds, you end up showing up and throwing up a bunch of facts and figures and details. And when I first thought about using personalized video, all I could go to was, well, I'm just going to say in a video what I would say if I was standing face to face with the doctor. And I'm only going to be able to get their attention.
It seems logical, doesn't it, Doug?
Yeah.
But
I'm
therein
only going to
lies
have their
the
attention.
problem, right? That busy people do not make purchasing decisions, quote unquote, logically. Continue.
Yep. No. And so the default was, I only have their attention for 30 seconds. So, hey, doc, are you aware that our product now comes in this lordosis and this footprint? And it's great. Now we have one more size option than everyone else. Isn't that wonderful, doc? And I wasn't solving a problem. That was their problem. I was telling them about a feature. And when I realized that people were not engaging because nothing I was saying was earning their attention, right? It wasn't about, this is so interesting to them, but rather it was a lack of me guiding them to why they should listen to me because I understand their problem. So that's why the why reaching out was so important, because I want to convey value, not what's important to me.
Yeah, that's great. So, one of the things that we teach at Virtual Sales RX and Medical Sales RX is this exact framework. And I'm going to use an example of an email framework that we use. So, Eric, if you were to distill what's important about sending an email that slaps people in the amygdala, grabs attention, what are the hallmarks that you've implemented or the lessons learned in people who are watching this as to, here's how we successfully engage people with the written word? Now, everybody knows us from, we implement personalized videos. But what most people don't know is that we rarely, if ever, send somebody just a native video. There's some type of skinny sentence contextual awareness that positions this so that when people receive this very unique looking video, they have some context that, hey, we're all business, we're not wasting their time. So, Eric, do me a favor, talk through your own key takeaways about how email, written word, and video, spoken word layer together and what you've learned.
Yeah, so you always obviously want to have the problem or the hook that everybody talks about. You want to have the hook that they want to keep on reading, whether it be email form. Obviously we're talking about the email form at this point in time, and then it crosses over into the video form. You want to have the hook. And I see that you're trying to increase engagement with busy doctors. Well, of course, yeah, they're going to say, yeah, and it hits and then there's a pain point where they go, it's just human nature. They say to themselves, man, we've been trying to increase, obviously we increase sales. And if I can increase, that happens in their mindset. And then obviously there's this, what next? How would I solve that? That's just how the human brain thinks. It says, well, here's a problem. Naturally, it says, okay, what am I going to do next in order to try and solve that? And that's when you kind of say to you, hey, there's this empathy where we speak to VP of sales all the time. There's, they're they're all dealing with this issue. And then the last and final, this is how we're going to help you type statement asking for a conversation. Hey, we've helped 25, 30,000 salespeople gain access or increase engagement with busy doctors. Would you like to talk about it? And I know I've kind of read the slide, but it's what it's doing is you're presenting the problem. You have then empathy with others because we're all experiencing that problem. And then here's how, we have solved it. And then the kind of open-ended, you want to find out? And you're bringing them down the road to, yes, I have this issue. Yes, I want to find out how to do this. And yes, so they answer 3 yeses all of a sudden. And so when you meld that with personalized video, you're doing the same exact thing with a script. They're now seeing your face and they're feeling it's personalized to them, which it is. And it's also, they're beginning to develop a know, like, and trust with you. And I don't know about you, but I don't ever develop know, like, and trust with an email that I receive. I don't think I ever have. Now, I have seen emails that I go, but let's put those two together and see what that looks like.
Yeah, 100%. I think of this as Legos. And for those of us that have had kids, and Legos is like, the preferred toy choice as they're growing up, a Lego is a building block. And it bolts on vertically or it bolts on as an adjacent to an existing structure. It's the same way with an email or a video message. You must take certain building blocks that enable people to view this as, oh, wow, I hear what they're saying, rather than you and I being so focused on, let's just tell them what to do. It's a different approach. In module 2 of Virtual and Medical Sales RX, we teach this concept that goes like this: what you say and what others hear is not always the same. So when we teach script writing in the written word and in videos, it's all focused about them. And if you're watching this right now, take a quick audit of your emails. And the mistake that most people are making is you default to what you sell. And that's a problem. You default to what you sell. And the reason why you have zero engagement, the reason why they're not following up with you, is because you haven't been taught that people think in a why it may be a fit for me. What problem is this solving for me? So that's email. Let's take a look at video framework here. So in this slide, we're looking now at a framework to send videos that create mental stop signs. Doug, you've been doing this, post graduation and now as an agency owner, coaching clients from different industries. When you think about a compelling framework to send videos, what are some of those Lego blocks that you must go through in order to get increased engagement?
So I think the first and foremost is understanding who I'm reaching out to, and then understanding what their problem is. What is the pain point that they're trying to that they're encountering on a day-to-day basis? What is keeping them up at night? And being able to call that out as part of the You and I, to the point you just made, are speaking the same language. I'm going to tell you what you already know to be fact. And that's your pain point or your problem or the thing that, like I said, that's keeping you up at night. And being able to address that right out of the gate, that's one of those key points that helps the audience to know that we're on the same page and earn some of that trust, right? I'm not leading with what's good for me. Hey, I got a really high price point. It's here's what's preventing you from being as successful as you want to be in your business. So I think that first and foremost is really understanding them and their problem. Eric, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would echo that exactly. It's when you're sending a personalized video, it really, you can show uh, your facial and your body language towards an issue, which obviously you're not going to get in an email in any way, shape, or form. For example, if you say to somebody, "I know what it's like to be out there and not be able to engage with busy, plumbing contractors in your area," it's next to impossible. Everybody sees in that script, and that was obviously a script that I just, it was off cuff, but it was something that I identified a pain point. They see my body language, and they feel, they develop a trust in that, hey, we're talking the same language here. He gets me. He understands what I'm dealing with. Boy, I'd really like to solve this. That's how the human brain works. How can I solve this issue? And so I would, finding that pain point and building that know, like, and trust through an empathetic video has been very successful for me.
Yeah, what you just said there, Eric, noticed in the email framework how we started off with an observation and a pain point. Hey, I see that you're the VP of sales at ... But then we quickly transition into a pain point. For example, in the email framework, it goes like this: I speak with VP of sales all day, every day, and they're all noticing that connection rates are all plummeting. Smaller open rates are dropping left and right. We don't even know if we're getting into their inbox. That's a pain point that our target persona can relate to. Now, notice how in the video framework, we start off with an inquisitive, this is just one example of a video framework, an inquisitive statement of no idea how often you get video like this. Why is that a great opening statement, Doug?
Because we know without a shadow of a doubt that they have never received a video message like this.
Yeah, 100%. I'm
It's like
speaking the
Babe
truth.
Ruth.
Yeah,
It's like
it
Babe
is.
Ruth calling a shot.
100%. I'm telling you the truth. If you were watching me right now, I've been using personalized videos almost 4 years now. I've sent over 25,000 personalized videos. And my target customer is a neurosurgeon, orthopedic surgeon, specialty surgeon, spine surgeon, etc. I ask every single doctor, and this is thousands that have come through our agency, have they ever received a personalized video? As recent as 2 days ago, I asked this question, and I've never received a yes. Not one. And I bet that it's not dissimilar into professional trades, et cetera, et cetera. So let's break down this framework, okay? So what is the framework for an ideal script, written or video, that has proven to work over and over and over again? And fellas, let's each of us take this one by one. I'll start off with framework emphasis number one: make an observation. So you'll notice that in our scripts, if you enroll in our community monthly scripts. I put a link, in case you joined us later, I put a link in the chat section of how we've created a new community. That new community is every month you're going to get new, proven, tested scripts, video scripts that you can begin using and implement in your own business. So step number one is make an observation. Making an observation develops an assimilation. It develops a thoughtful, personalized observation. It could be hyper personalized. Hey, I've learned that you are a professor of neurosurgery at Duke University, and you no doubt know Dr. Alok Sharan. Or it could take a step back. Hey, I noticed that you are the VP of sales at Widget Incorporated. So we start the communication with I know you, I did my homework, and I take something personalized and make an observation. All right, Eric, why don't you take step number 2 about magnifying the problem? And it's an insight based on that observation that we made in step 1.
Yeah, so this is the point where you're able to say something to the effect of, I understand you're trying to connect with really busy homeowners, and I'm going to use a real estate agent framework because we have so many real estate agents that are very interested in this, but it works for all verticals. But hey, I've noticed that I'm sure that you are dealing with a decline in response in the marketing you're using now because homeowners are so busy to get a hold of. And that kind of a statement right there, they're all going to go, oh, yeah, I used to send mailers and I used to do this and I used to have a newspaper ad. I mean, for those are older than remember the newspaper, they used to have all these tactics and techniques, and they are still using them, and they're just obviously not effective. So that observation and compounding on the issue that they may be dealing with really starts to have them go, the ears go up and they go, okay, what is this guy talking about? What's this lady talking about?
Yeah, when we magnify a problem, it creates a mental stop sign. When you create a mental stop sign, the receiver of that video goes, does this apply to me? They can't help it. When the human brain receives through a know, like, and trust proven concept like personalized video, it's always, wait a minute, does this apply to me? Does it not apply to me? I'll be the judge of that. All right, Doug, a proof statement becomes important, where we demonstrate or we share proof that A, we get you, we empathize with your challenge. B, we have a solution, and here's the impact of that solution. Take point number 3.
So, with virtual sales RX and medical sales RX, we have 3.5 years of actual data. And because of the tools that we use, we actually have the analytics to prove it's not just gut feel, hey, I know it's working because somebody's paid us. It's rather we can look at the actual analytics and see how well these are, how we're doing. So we have the proof statement where we can point to actual metrics, right? And everyone in sales knows metrics because that's how we're always being judged. Whether we're on a PIP, about to be put on a PIP, our sales are down, someone's always reminding us of how well we are or are not performing. So the proof statement comes in the fact that we can point to, look, to use Eric's example in real estate, we know that realtors who are engaging with their customers through cold outreach, through the use of video, are getting 3x engagement rates increases over what they've been doing with phone calls and just sending, boring text-based emails, right? So the great thing is, realtors, anyone in sales, we have those metrics to help support what it is you're trying to convey to the target audience.
And framework points number 4 and 5, I'm just going to lump them together for the purpose of time. So framework step number 4 is notice the careful choice of words, word that I used, lead into how you solve a problem. What that means is that we make a statement, a shared empathetic statement of, in one situation with another VP of sales, in last month, we helped a real estate agent like you in Southern California. We lead into how we solve the problem and the impact of that. And then step number 5 is an interest-based call to action. And here's what I mean by interest-based call to action. Worth a conversation? Did you notice how I did not say, hey, are you available Tuesday or Thursday between the hours of 10 a.m. and 1:30? Hey, we laugh, we chuckle. I was the king of that. Let me tell you.
Me too. Me too.
All of us on this call can relate to that. So what happens is an interest-based closing technique, worth a consideration. Is this a priority for you now? That what that does is it allows the person you're trying to contact to drive the next step. Oftentimes I'll end it with, in your opinion, what's the next step? Question mark. So interest-based calls to actions never, ever, ever result in verbally or in writing saying, hey, I'd love to grab some time with you this week. What about Tuesday? It's a mistake that most of us are making, and it's a mistake that is costing you engagement, 100%. So at Medical Sales RX, Virtual Sales RX, contrarian I know, you will never catch us verbally asking for an appointment, ever. Why is that? Well, it turns out busy people love to purchase from you and I. They just hate to schedule an appointment with us. So what if we had a framework in email and in personalized video framework that was proven through the laws of copywriting, proven through behavioral psychology to create a stop sign, differentiate us, and put the viewer in charge of what they would like to do next. So, gentlemen, any last take-home message as we close down this webinar today? And for those of you who are on here, 2 key things before I have the guys wrap up their final key takeaway. There's a link for the new script community that we've built where you're going to receive every month. In fact, if you go there today and you register, you're going to start receiving in our community proven scripts that you can apply to increase conversions, increase engagement, and ultimately close deals more quickly. Secondly, you're going to get a webinar replay if you were not able to attend this live. So, Doug, parting key takeaway for people about why they should consider using scripts.
I'll say it like this. You made a reference to these script formats as like Legos, building blocks, right? Legos are delicious. I'm just, from personal experience, don't know how many I ate, but it was a lot. Legos are delicious.
That explains a lot, Doug. Thank you for sharing that.
It really does.
Yeah. But my point is that, we give you the building blocks that you need to build these scripts. And until you get to the point where you feel confident in doing them yourself, we give you the baby steps, A, then B, then C, then D. And you can walk through those things. So my call to action is, what's stopping you from consuming these building blocks, these delicious little Legos?
I don't know how I'm gonna follow those delicious Legos,
It's
but
tough
I'll
to
remember
top.
that.
It really is.
Tell you, you may need to make a shirt, delicious Legos. I'm a branding type guy. So, I would just echo what these guys have said, and also please understand when you do become part of the Virtual Sales RX, the community. There's a place there within the community where people can share ideas and strategies that are working for them. So it is a live, evergreen, people sharing thoughts and sharing strategies and how they're succeeding. And you can put your own videos in there. Hey, videos that I'm doing that I'm utilizing to succeed. Here they are. So it's a cool community, and I'm excited that we built it. I think it's going to help a lot of people.
And my takeaway is we build a community based on the concept of give your best ideas away for free. Just be generous with your ideas. And I know we're going to have people go, well, what if I got another real estate agent on there? I'm in competition. You're not in competition with a fellow real estate agent. You're not. The real competition for us as business owners and professional salespeople is indifference and a resistance to change. Hey, we all know that dropping off literature to glory of the gatekeeper, getting stuck in traffic with this concept of I must see a prospect face to face in order to do business with them. We know that doesn't work. It doesn't work. So today, ask yourself, what is the resistance, either in the form of indifference or the resistance to change? If you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you're getting.
Yep.
And so there's never been a better time to investigate personalized videos. We live in a distracted, disengaged, over-communicated society. And what's not going to change is there will only be a certain amount of windshield time and a certain amount of daylight hours. That will not change. And so if you thought past tense that the best way to grow your business was to become face-to-face, you're 50% correct. The 100% solution is you and I become face-to-face at scale. We still show up in person. And then we augment that with personalized videos. And you know what will happen when you show up in person? They already know you. In most cases, because you're dropping knowledge and you're not spamming them, they already like you. Heck, by the time you meet some of these dudes, they already trust you. And so what we've learned time and time again is personalized videos decreases the amount of time that it takes for you to earn, know, like, and trust. Therefore, you earn more scheduled meetings is what your original desire was anyway. So we thank everybody who joined us. Immediately after we end this event, check your email for the replay. And then again, in the chat section, go ahead and investigate and see if it's a fit for you to receive proven scripts. We're updating it every week. We really have a tribe, a community committed to great communication, and that may be a fit for you, or it may be a priority for you. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks, everybody.
Well done, Doug. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take